for cornering. So that's lateral grip, and braking is front back. The red zone is the crash zone.
Oh,
Right?
I know that song.
Yeah?
You know that song.
Good experience or bad experience? What this represents is the available grip, and this will vary with the different influences. So it depends on your tires, it depends on your tire pressure, it depends on the road surface, it depends if it's wet, if it's dry. But let's assume that the black line is the maximum amount of grip we can use in any state. Then if you would use all your grip for only braking, you're going to be all the way on the left of this graph, and you have 100% grip available for braking because you're not turning, right? So you can go all the way to the black line and go full brakes as long as you don't turn, then you won't crash. And the other side of the graph is the grip for turning. So if you would use all your grip only for turning and you don't touch the brakes, you can use 100% grip for lateral displacement of your bike. Assuming you use the right technique and everything, which I explain later. Now, the part in between is where it's very interesting, because in general, a lot of coaches, people on YouTube, on the internet will say, oh, you have to do all your braking before the turn, and then you start turning. Don't brake in the corner, it's bad, whatever. I disagree with that, and I'll tell you why. Because if you know this, it's going to add safety, and it's going to add knowledge about how to fix problems, which I will come to later. It's a specific term called trail braking, which is out of the automotive industry. Any one of you rides motorcycles? Only Richard Meda. So if you see those MotoGP guys, they are full on the brakes as they turn into the corner. They're on two wheels, just like us. Okay. Braking will add pressure on the front wheel, so in theory it can add grip, or sort of. So what I try to explain is that you can actually brake in a turn as long as you don't use all your grip.
Yeah, too much.
To turn. Because if you, let's say, brake with 100% what's available, and then you start trying to turn, then you end up in the red zone, because you want to use more than there is available. But if you brake slightly less hard, so you're in the green line, see how much you can turn? You have still available grip in lateral direction. It also goes the opposite way. If you are not, like Valentino Rossi, cornering at maximum available grip, which hardly anybody will ever do, then you still have a little bit of grip available to brake. So, if you're going into a corner and you find yourself going too fast, or you need to adjust because there's a car, there's a cow on the road, there's another rider, or it's a downhill corner, which is probably the most common, especially here on the island or in any downhill switchbacks, you can brake in a turn. It is safe as long as you don't do it abruptly and don't brake too hard. Where it gets more interesting for racers, because we do have one racer in our group, is if you want to go extra fast and if you want to brake extra late, then you can use this whole. Okay, let me go one step back. This is the corner. This is a turn, switchback. I've drawn the ideal line in green because green is good, right? Most people turn in too early. So what I see happen a lot, I'll just take blue is when you're here, a lot of riders, they start looking at the corner and like, I have to go around this corner So I'm gonna go this way, and then they figure out they have to go all the way around, so they shoot out, and then here they meet the end of the road. If you go too fast, you go into the cliff, or you do a bunch of braking, you're almost come to a dead stop, then you turn, and then you have to accelerate again. The key to fast cornering is turning late, because then you have a smooth exit, and here you have ways to go, because at this point your turning radius isn't that sharp, so you can actually either continue the turn because there's a bunch of rocks here or whatever, so it's more safe, or you can start accelerating. Your bike will come up right more, so you can start pedaling without hitting the ground and all that stuff. Also, if it's a descending turn, you can brake while turning, because if you don't brake in a descending turn, your speed will increase, and then actually at some point you have a problem because you go too fast. So you need to brake if it goes down in a turn. So you have to have a little bit of available grip for braking. So you can never go into a turn which is descending using maximum grip only for turning, because then you'll have a problem, because your speed's going to increase and then you're going to end up here. So I mean, always be safe. Never go towards this red line because that's the crash zone. But just the theory that there's always available grip for braking if you're not on the limit. Now, if you want to go really fast, you want to brake as late as you can. Hey, airplane!
Yeah.
So you come here, you're going whatever, 60k an hour. This is a sharp switchback. You start full braking and you're going in a straight line, so you have 100% grip available for braking. You can use 100% until this point, because from here you need grip to turn. As you start turning in, you start to feather the brakes. What is feathering the brakes? If you're on the brakes, you're going to smoothly release the pressure on your levers until you're at the apex of the turn. The apex is where your line is in the inside of the turn. This can be the actual inside of the road. It can also be the middle of the street, as we're riding on both direction roads. And if there's a car, you don't want to touch the other side of the road. So this is feathering of the brakes. So you're still braking as you are turning in. So